there, what's up? Welcome back to Ecofunomics. I am Dr. Shreya Roy, and this is lecture 7 of data analytics using Stata or Stata. So Ecofunomics is an international organization currently serving knowledge across 158 countries. We are registered under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Startup India, Skill India, MSME, all recognized and registered with the Government of India. So today we are going to be learning the basics of classical hypothesis testing. So before we roll into the software, the very crucial thing which we need to know is what is hypothesis testing. So hypothesis testing basically consists of two important things, that is the null hypothesis or the alternative hypothesis. Generally, null hypothesis is written as HO. However, alternative hypothesis is represented as H1 or HA in different books by different authors differently. So there is nothing to get confused. So H0, H0 is null hypothesis and H1 or HA is alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis is something which is textbook-ish. That is, for example, let's say that the sun rises in the east. So that would become a null hypothesis because people generally know that it's a fact. On the alternative side, let's say we want to challenge that finding and we want to say that no, I believe that the sun rises in the west. Now you have data for it, you have to run regression analysis for it. You might be correct, you might be wrong. Your results are going to answer for you. So basically what I'm trying to say is anything that you are trying to research, so your research question is your alternative hypothesis. So let's say that, the current budget is going to increase inequality between the skilled and the unskilled workers. This is my research question and this is what I am stating. So that would become my alternative hypothesis, and my null hypothesis would be that the current budget is not affecting the wage gap between the skilled and the unskilled workers, laborers. So I hope I could explain myself. If you still have a doubt, please comment down below. I'll write to you personally. Now let's take a look at the software. So the data that I have is downloaded from the World Development Indicators, that is the official website for World Bank. And this is Indian data ranging from 2007 to 2029 for agricultural wage, service wage, skilled, unskilled wage, unemployed female, unemployed male, unemployed total, and population in millions. So what are we going to learn today? We are going to be learning t-test comparison, mean comparison, which means t-test comparison, variance comparison, which means f-test comparison, and some standard deviation comparison. Okay, so let's look into it. So today we are also going to learn how to run the analysis tests. We are going to learn how to read your results. Stay with me. So go to statistics, summary tables and tests, summary and descriptive statistics, and come to classical tests of hypothesis, where we will do t-test mean comparison. Click on that. Here we are going to click on two variables using two samples using variables. So let's select the first variable as agriculture wage and the second variable as service wage. Okay, and click on OK. So what do we see over here? We see a t-test comparison has been run. So the command is .t-test agriculture is equal to service wage, comma, unpaired. So now we see that the H0, which says that the mean difference is 0, which means that the mean of agricultural wage and the mean of service wage is basically the same. There is no difference between mean of one variable and the mean of the second variable. However, the result that we have received is t of minus 13.8588, that is minus 13.86, and we are going to be looking at the center part, HA, or alternative hypothesis, which says that the difference is not equal to 0. And here is the thing that you need to learn to read. If this value is less than 0.05, you accept your alternative hypothesis and fail to accept your null hypothesis. Or in simpler words, you accept your alternative hypothesis and reject your null hypothesis, saying that the mean of the two variables are not equal. Okay, I hope I was able to explain that. Now, similarly, you can do another test, which is here, instead of selecting two sample variables using variables, do a one sample, select a variable name agricultural wage, and give a hypothesized mean saying that it should be this. Okay, so let's say that you are saying that the minimum wage of the country is, let's say, 100 or 47 per day. So similarly, if you have something in mind, there's a policy that is running that, this is the minimum wage the agricultural people should have. So you can obviously write it over there. So let's just say 100. Click on OK. So what do I get over here? Again, I have given the hypothesis testing that the minimum agricultural wage should be equal to 100. However, we see that the minimum wage is not equal to 100, and hence we have to reject our null hypothesis and accept our alternative hypothesis, saying that the minimum agricultural mean wage is not 100 rupees. Okay, so the first one that we learned was for two sample paired t-test. The second one that we learned is one sample t-test. Now, similarly, let's go to another test for variance. Okay, go to summaries, tables, and tests. Click on classical tests of hypothesis. Click on variance comparison tests. Okay, so when we are comparing the variance, here what we do is we try to calculate the ratio of the two variances. Let's select the first one as agricultural wage, second one as the service wage, and click on OK. So what is my alternative? Sorry, null hypothesis. It says that the ratio is 1. That is, agricultural wage by the service wage should be equal to 1. The ratio between the variance of the two variables should be equal to 1. However, we see that we are not able to accept our null hypothesis, and we are accepting the alternative hypothesis, saying that the ratio is not equal to 1, since my value is less than 0.05. Okay, I hope I was able to explain myself. Now, so this is very well done. You used the statistics tab over here from the ribbon, and then you just selected the variables, and voila, it is done. Now, another test that we are going to be learning today is for, again, let's do SD test. Similarly, select agricultural wage is equal to service wage and enter. So we are saying that the ratio should be equal to 1, but we see that we have to accept our alternative hypothesis where we say that the ratio is not equal to 1. So what did we learn? We learned to compare the mean, we learned to compare the variance, and we learned to compare the standard deviation. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope now you will be able to at least perform the basic tests of hypothesis. These are the three classical basic tests of hypothesis. That's about it for today. See you in the next class, in the next lecture. Have a productive day ahead. Happy Saraswati Puja. Until next time, bye.